I'm Nate Hogan. In this video, we're going to talk about the law of attraction. This is the most important law if you are trying to make changes in your life, if you're trying to grow, if you're trying to attract new opportunities, if you're trying to make more money, if you're trying to have new friends, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to change, whatever you're trying to grow into, you need to understand this law because guess what? Whether you're working with the laws or not, they are always working. The laws are the way the universe works. So if you are not working with them, you are probably working against them. And that is not fun. It is not fun to work against the laws. So I'm here to teach you about them, teach you how you can work with them, how you can implement this understanding to benefit your life and live an abundant life in all areas. So first things first, we got the fact that the law of attraction is a secondary law. It is probably a law you've heard of. You've probably heard the law of attraction. You maybe have seen the movie The Secret that's about the law of attraction. The law of attraction isn't, I don't really like to talk about it too much because a lot of people think that you just think about, getting money and then all of a sudden money will spawn in your bank account. That is not how this works, but it is part of it. So the law of vibration is the primary law. That is the law that actually makes all of this work because basically everything vibrates, nothing rests. Everything in the universe, whether you're talking about this water bottle, water, air, like everything vibrates because everything is energy. Every single thing is energy. And energy works on frequencies. So everything that you want, everything you desire is on a frequency. And when you tune into that frequency, that is when you're going to be able to accumulate or become or whatever it is, become one with your desire. So because everything vibrates, you can use this to your advantage. And your thoughts also vibrate. So your thoughts vibrate with whatever you want. So if you are thinking of what you desire, if you are holding an image of your mind of what you are looking to accomplish, you are vibrating at the same frequency as your desire. This will bring you closer to it. So your thoughts emit vibrations, which then attract you what you are in harmony with. So your thoughts at all times are what attract and what bring everything into your life. So whether you're actively planting these seeds, if you're planting your thoughts intentionally or not, they are consistently and always creating the life that you live. So if you are planting thoughts, here's the best example I can think of. When you wake up in the morning and you stub your toe, right? And you're like, "Oh man, today's just going to be one of those days." And then that entire day it just seems like everything bad happens, right? Just one thing after the next, and you're like, "Oh, when it rains it pours." That's because you're holding that negative image in your mind and you're constantly thinking about how it's one of those days. One of those days, it's a bad day, bad things are going to happen. You are bringing all those bad things into your life, and that is why bad things happen, because that is the frequency you are operating on. And I know that everybody's experienced one of those days. Everybody's experienced that. That's why I like to use that as an example, because it is the image that you're holding in your mind that determines your actions and determines what happens. So if you're focusing on the bad, you will get bad. If you focus on the good, you will get the good. So this is kind of the magnet with money because everyone seems to say law of attraction, like money, it works for everything. This is just how the world works. It's not just for money. It literally works for everything. So next up, this is the example. This is kind of how I'm going to be able to explain the law, like the way this works. Because when I say everything's on a frequency, you're like, what? And I'm like, you can get on the same frequency as, the car you want. And you're like, well, how does that work? So basically, let these lines right here represent frequencies, right? You have all the different lines. So you are the circle. You are where your current results are. You are on this frequency on the bottom. And you are saying, I want to go there, right? That there is the star. That is where you want to go. You're like, I know I'm making, 5,000 a month, but I want to go there. I want to make 100,000. I want to make 200,000 a month. I want to make millions, right? You're like, I want to go there. Okay, well, there is already a place. There already exists. There is a frequency that you can tap into, and that is how you will accomplish what you are seeking to accomplish. So when you are here, right, and the way Bob Proctor explains this is, think about it like, your current results are the AM radio, and your goal is the FM radio. If you are thinking on the AM radio, if you are thinking thoughts down here, you're never going to get to the FM. You can't play AM music on the FM radio. It doesn't work. It's physically impossible. It is the same exact way with this. Your current results, if you are thinking, right, with your current mindset, your current results, because your mindset is what has got you to where you are. So if you are thinking on this frequency, you are only going to attract things on this frequency. You're only going to attract that amount of money, those vacations, those cars, everything that's down here, right? But if you're like, I want to go there, you have to start thinking on that frequency. You have to operate on that frequency. You have to become one with the good that you desire, and that is how you're going to bring it into you. Because once you are on the same frequency with what you want, you will attract what you have to attract to get what you want to get. Right? Let me repeat that. Once you are on the same frequency with the good that you desire, you will attract what you have to attract to get the good that you desire. Right? That is where the law of attraction comes into play. because when you are vibrating at the same speed as whatever it is you are desiring, it will start to attract. Think of it like you're on the left side of the line and it's on the right side. Once you get on that same line, you guys are moving toward each other because what you are seeking is seeking you. So once you are on the same frequency as whatever you are desiring, you guys are both moving toward each other, and that is when it comes to the physical world. Right? Once you have it, once you've made the decision in your mind that you're going to get something, you have it intellectually. And once you start to visualize it and you can see yourself as that person, you can see yourself experiencing that, and you start to feel those feelings, you now have it emotionally. So you have it intellectually and emotionally. So the only place you don't have it is physically. But once you have it intellectually and emotionally, it is only a matter of time until it fuses in the physical world. So this is why this is so important, because so many people, they think on their current results and they're like, you say you make $10,000 a month, which is a good amount of money. So you're making $10,000 a month. You're like, I just don't understand why I can't make more. Or say you run a business. You're like, I just can't get above this, because you're thinking down here. If you're thinking down here, you're not going to get these results. The mistake people make is they're down here and they say, I want to go there as soon as, and then they have an excuse. I want to make $100,000 a month as soon as the kids are off to school. I want to make $100,000 a month. I want to start that business. I want to take that vacation as soon as I get the money. You have to make the decision and then you will get the money. This is how it works. It's the same thing I was talking about in my last video. You have to give before you can receive. Or this was on my TikTok yesterday. You have to give before you receive, right? You have to start giving to people and then you will get. You don't get and then give. This is the same way. You're not going to get more money and then make the decision. You have to make the decision and then you will get the money, which seems so backwards. It seems scary, but that's why people don't live this way. That's why people stay in the same exact spot, because you have to make the decision. So like right now, my goals that I have, I decided that I'm getting these goals, but I don't know how to get them, right? I don't have the money to do what I want to do. I don't have the money to buy the cars I want to buy, right? But I've decided that I'm doing this before I have the money, before I have the results to match that. You have to say, I want to go there now. How do I start moving into this, moving in this direction? And then what you are seeking is also seeking you, and you will eventually fuse. So that's kind of the best way I can explain it, because it's confusing and it takes a lot of time. You have to watch videos on this over and over and over and over before you really understand the way it works. But basically, you need to decide on something before you have the money. So say, this is an easy example. You want a new car. Okay, say you have $20,000 and you want to buy a new car, but the new car is $50,000 and you want to pay cash. You have to decide that you are buying this car, right? Like, I am buying this car. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm buying this car, right? And people will be like, well, you don't even have the money. It doesn't matter, because once you decide to buy the car and you are constantly thinking about the car, you're constantly seeing yourself as a person in this car, you are going to attract what you have to attract to get that car. You will find these opportunities to make more money. You will find opportunities to make that $30,000 and you will be able to buy that vehicle because you are on the same frequency as it, and it will fuse. You will find a way to get it. Whether you end up financing or whatever it is, you will find a way. So this is ultimately how it works, is once you fuse with it, even if it's unrealistic, even if it's illogical, even if you don't have the money, even if you don't have the time, once you make a decision and you hold that idea in your mind, it's only a matter of time until you get it in the physical world. So you can only attract what you're in harmony with, right? And this is a good example of the left and the right, the good and the bad. So if you're, the person on the right and you are thinking negative, it just seems like everything's going bad, house is on fire, car accident, all these bad things. If you are a negative person, if you have a negative vibration, you are not going to attract good into your life. You are not going to experience good things. That's why you see negative people and they're like, oh, it just seems like everything bad happens to me. Nothing ever goes right. Nothing ever goes my way, because you're on a negative vibration and a negative frequency. You're holding negative images. Everything's negative. And when everything is negative, why do you think anything positive is going to happen to you? It's not, because your mind controls your thoughts. Your mind controls your reality. Your mind controls what comes into your life. So if you're constantly, this is why people when you get a new car, so when people get in an accident, because they're fearing getting in an accident, and they're just thinking about how terrible it'd be to get in an accident, and they're seeing themselves get in an accident because they are so freaked out about it, and that's what causes it, right? The law of attraction, you're attracting that into your life. It works for good or bad. The law of attraction does not care. It does not care if you are thinking positively or negatively. It is just going to bring you what you ask for, right? It's in the Bible. Ask and you shall receive. Well, you realize all of your thoughts are what you are asking for. But people, you're most of the time you're not thinking consciously. You're thinking subconsciously, unconsciously, which means that whatever you are programmed to think is what you are bringing into your life. That is why it's so important to plant seeds in your mind. That's why I had a video yesterday about reprogramming your mind. Make sure to watch that one. Very, very good video. So your state of vibration changes based on the image you are holding in your mind. I'm gonna start moving faster. I still have a lot of slides, but the state of vibration is based on the image you hold in your mind. So if you start thinking about, that trip, you're going to Hawaii and you're thinking about that trip and you can see it in your mind, you start to get in a good mood. You start to get excited. You start to get happy. You feel all those emotions because you're changing your vibration. You're going to a higher state of vibration. And so as you hold the image in your mind and you continue to see it over and over, day after day, you are bringing that closer to you, right? You guys are on the same frequency, and now it's just a matter of time until you fuse in the physical world. So you have to stay on stay on the frequency of the good that you desire. And then I think this is the most important part is you will attract what you have to attract for the good, for the desire to move into form. So a lot of people don't take advantage of this, the way this works, because they don't understand. It seems unrealistic. It seems stupid. Like, how am I gonna buy this car if I don't even have all the money? And they're like, well, that stupid law of attraction stuff. It's not a philosophy. It's the way that it works. Like, this isn't a belief system. This is facts. So if you choose not to believe this, then it doesn't matter. It's still working. It's still controls your entire life. So you will attract what you have to attract to move the good that you desire into form. So, like I was showing on the last slide, when your goal is up here and it seems unrealistic, once you decide and you say, I'm doing that, and you're on that frequency, you will attract everything you need to attract to move that into form in the physical world. Because again, the physical world, the spiritual world, you are spiritual beings living in the physical world. So the spiritual world doesn't care about the price. It doesn't care about time. It doesn't care about place. It doesn't know any of that. It's here, it's now, and everything is just energy. Nothing, it doesn't matter, So when you want something and you can see it in your mind, you can visualize yourself having it and you feel like the person that has that. It doesn't care if it's a big goal or a small goal. If you're making $10,000 a month, it doesn't care if you're going to 12,000 or if you're going to 100,000, right? It's just a matter of if you believe it's going to happen. But it doesn't matter, how big or how small the goal is. It's just as difficult to take a leap for the big goal as it is for the small goal. So why not aim big, right? All right, so everything we create twice. I literally heard this as I was making these slideshows by Bob Proctor. He said, everything we create twice. First in your mind, then in the physical world, guys. This is like, the best example is like a house. You're designing a house, right? First you see it in your mind. You're like, oh man, I could just see, that beautiful home with the brick fireplace. And, you start to design it in your mind. And then you take it to paper and you draw the blueprint, right? You sketch it out on paper. And then you start taking the steps to build it in the physical world. Right? So it goes from an idea onto paper, and then you start taking action. This is how everything works. Everything in this entire world. You get this idea of, whatever it is you want. I want a new car, right? I want a 2025, whatever it is, Escalade, okay? Now you write it on paper. So now you have the idea, and you've written down what you are getting, right? I am buying a 2025 Escalade, whatever it is. Now you have step 2. You have it intellectually, and now you have brought it into the physical world. You have brought it here to the world. Now you are going to start taking actions to get there. You are going to start moving in that direction. It's not going to be, hold the image in your mind, write it on paper, and then voila, brand new cars in the driveway. That is not what I'm saying. You are going to have to take actions. You're going to have to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to make moves that make you uncomfortable. I have a really good story about this. I bought my dream truck. It's a Ford Raptor, right? I bought it at 19 years old. And when I bought it, I don't know how it happened. It was in Vegas. I live in California. I didn't have the down payment money in my account. It was in a separate account, and it wasn't supposed to transfer. My credit was locked. I wasn't getting approved. Everything that you could ever imagine was not going right. Okay, and I'm getting on a plane to fly to Vegas to buy this truck that someone else is looking at that moment that I haven't reserved, and I'm not approved for the truck yet. I don't have the money for the truck. You're right. I'm just going. I don't know, but I just feel like I should go. But I'm also feeling like, a little uncomfortable. Like, is this, am I making the right decision? Is this going to work out? But you intuitively know, like, this, you got to do this, even through the fear. And then, eventually I got the truck. Everything worked out just fine. We signed the paper. We got there at 5:58 p.m. and they told us this paperwork has to be in by 6 p.m. So we literally made it by 2 minutes, got it in, and then it didn't get approved. They had to do something else. It was a mess, but it worked. And that's usually how this is going to go. You're going to have to go through all these obstacles. It's going to seem like it's not going right, and you're going to start to beat yourself up. But if you make it through all these challenges and all these obstacles, you will get whatever it is that you are looking after. And then here we have Mr. Albert Einstein. Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but bring that into reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics, guys. This is the biggest thing I'm going to talk about. I'm not a scientist. I'm a religious person, and I don't think science and religion are antagonistic. I think they're all studying the same thing. Anyways, this isn't a philosophy, right? This isn't something that someone came up with and was like, oh, well, maybe if you just believe the good will come, then it'll come. This is facts. This is the way it works. Everything's energy. Your thoughts are energy. You attract what you attract based off your thoughts, right? This is facts. If you choose not to work with it, that is your decision. But guess what? It's still working. It's like you leave the engine running. You can choose to go rev the engine, or you can just leave it idling. Either way, it's going to stay on. You pick. And then, we had to bring Bob Proctor's stick figure about the mind. And this is I just wanted to summarize, showing you how your thoughts change your vibration. So basically, the first you'll have it in your intellectual mind, your conscious mind. And then as you visualize it, as you get emotionally involved in it, that will move into your subconscious mind, which is the lower part of the brain, the lower part of the big circle. And then that will change your vibration, right? The image you hold in your subconscious mind is what causes your vibration to change, which then determines your results. So if you're holding the image of the goal, the desire, the life that you want to live in your subconscious mind, if you've gotten it into your subconscious mind, it is only a matter of time before it comes to the physical world, because of the vibration you are on, and everything and your actions will align with what you are trying to achieve. So that's the best way I can put it. I know this is kind of a confusing topic. I know it kind of makes a lot of people uncomfortable because it seems, like scientific, weird manifestation type stuff, but this is the way the world works, right? God made these laws. God made the laws. God made the world with all of these laws, and now you can choose to work with them or against them. It's your choice. I'm not here to push you one way or another, but all I'm saying is when you work with the laws that God created, your life will be a whole lot easier than if you're working against them. And like Napoleon Hill said in Think and Grow Rich, if you think that hard work and honesty alone will bring you riches, perish the thought. That is a fact. If you are just working hard and honest, that does not mean you're going to bring riches. It is a mindset. It is, there's a lot to it. It's not just hard work and honesty. We need to delete that out of our mental vocabulary. Realize that it's ideas, it's mindset, and that will bring the good that you desire into this world. So thank you for joining this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm posting a new video every single day in March. It's a little March marathon. So 31 videos are going up. If you have video ideas, video requests, put that in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer your questions and help you guys out and make videos specifically based on what you guys need help with or are interested in, or if you want specific example videos. I'm open to anything. I'm just here to help as many people as I can. And then if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, DM me on Instagram. I will put my Instagram in the description below. It's at Nate Hogue, 2 E's and 2 G's. And I can help you out and get you started, and we can get some one-on-ones to help you. I don't charge for the information, but I charge for application. So if you can have all the information in the world, it's all on the internet, but I'm going to help you apply it to your life and actually change your life, actually increase your income. It's worked for me. It's worked for millions. If you want help, just DM me. I got you. So tune in tomorrow for a new video.